Hello, hello, and welcome back to No Man's Sky on the Xbox Series X for this small guide on how to grab your freighter, how to get it. We're going to be trying to find one actually, because this save that I'm about to load is pretty much right from the start. I've put 38 minutes into it, and yes, I have set a bunch of the settings to the potentially easiest settings you can. It's creative mode, but actually it's custom. It's story driven creative. It's got the full story in there and everything, as well as a lot of creative settings. So the starter ship is all I've got for the time being. So we're going to wait here for a moment or two and see if anything interesting jumps on to our station. And in the meantime, I'm going to take a quick run over here in this station and take a poke around and look at the appearance modifier, because I can change my appearance, but I'm going to stick with the default one that I've got at the moment because I quite like it. I'm getting very 2001 vibes from this particular setup for my titular traveller. There. Get my words in correctly. Put my teeth in today. We are now T-minus 7 days from the launch of Starfield, which will be quite a significant chunk of my channel. There's a new Space Engineers update on the way. Things are looking absolutely brilliant for space games. We've had Everspace 2. Gee. Tut. We've had Everspace 2. We've had the Starfield at Gamescom. A lot of people were lucky enough to see the intro to the game. We've got loads of Starfield news. I don't cover the news side because people like Obsidian Ant and others do a massively fantastic job of covering all these things, especially Dantix, who is one of the best Starfield channel YouTubers out there. Anyway, I'm going to swap my starter ship for this yellow one, and I can do this early on because I'm actually playing in creative, so that doesn't matter. And this will serve as a good example as well. Another one landed, of how you can upgrade your ship as well. You'll be doing this as part and parcel of your whole No Man's Sky journey, but I just want a little bit more in terms of my ship. So we'll go over to this terminal, we'll go upgrade starship, and we're just going to hit upgrade class. Now normally you'd have to get nanites to do this, but because I'm playing as I am, we're going to take it just up to A, and then we're going to upgrade the starship again, and we'd have to get augmentations from missions and things, but I'm going to pop my upgrades here, and you can choose where you want to put your upgrades in this, but I just like pressing the button. So we'll just give this row and this one to the ship, then we'll come down here and we'll just pop some more cargo space on. This would cost a fortune if I was doing it for real, and I've done it already. So for the purposes of this No Man's Sky look about freighters and so on, I just want to have fun, introduce the game to you. You can play it at your own pace. You can learn the ins and outs of the various systems and so on and so forth. So now we have my ship. I'm not going to bother installing much in the way of new tech to it. It's a pretty nice one to the left of me there as well. And we're going to take a peek out of the space station. You can play in first, or if you prefer, if you want, you can play in third. Although the camera can get a bit weird at times, it is really nice to see space and everything in No Man's Sky. Quick scan of this planet, just because. So, what we need for a freighter is you need to follow the storyline until you get your hyperdrive and so on. In fact, I just got to make sure that I've got one. Yes, I have. Hyperdrive, photon cannon. In fact, I don't even think I've got any. No, I've only got the rocket launcher, so I've got no upgrades yet to the ship to look at, which is good. So yeah, what I was saying is you need to find a ship, a freighter of your own, in trouble. When you find your first freighter in trouble, that's when things get interesting. Let's just go back to first person, because your radar scanner is very useful for orientating you in a dogfight and seeing what targets you're locked onto. So we're going to need to jump. We're going to need to use the galaxy map, and we're just going to actually follow the galactic core. And there's a couple of things I always suggest when playing the game properly. When you arrive in a new system, if it has a space station, land on it. Go to the outfitters there on the space station and get yourself an upgrade, if you have the money, for your exosuit. So not only will you create a kind of... Oh, it's an outlaw station. Do I want to land on that? No, I don't. In fact, yes, I do. It may as well, actually. Give you a look at an outlaw station. This was added in an update where you could get some sweet unlocks from following the mission. And the outlaws have taken over the old derelict stations of No Man's Sky and installed themselves aboard in various places, vendors and so on. And it looks cool. The aesthetic's brilliant. Sinister red. But we're not doing that storyline. We are nowhere near. So, off we go again. With any luck, we're going to be blasting some outlaws to pieces. Of course, we could get a solar sailor ship from an outlaw station, but I've got several of those on my previous saves, and I prefer just to focus on trying to find a freighter. So, once again, new system, new jump. You're going to have to go through a bunch of crafting when you're jumping as well, because you're going to need to feed your engine with hyperdrive fuel. You're going to need to stop with the pulse drive at asteroids and mine them for tritium so that you can fuel your pulse drive. But this isn't the purpose of this particular playthrough. This is not a general No Man's Sky tutorial. This is a hunt for a freighter, because that's the focus of this set. I want to show you what to do with one. And in theory, we should get one at some point as we continue to jump. That's the hope. Once we get one, we should get a distress signal which we can answer, and it will give us a mission to rescue the freighter from attack. Oh, here we go. Right, I've got the autopilot on, and don't expect me to get blasted. So just to give you an idea, the ship will constantly attempt to track any locked pirate vessel. So I press X, and as you can see, the locked pirate vessel I have in front of me is now being tracked, and we can blast its shields away and zap it. Move on to the next one. And some of them fly perilously close to freighters, so you have to check your fire when they do this. Keep on them. Now and then press the button, and he's using the actual freighter shielding there, which was added in Echoes, because this is No Man's Sky Echoes, which came out yesterday. And this is the first time I'm actually engaging with the game. And you'll see that with the accessibility feature, you can do space combat and enjoy all that fun. You can toggle the target lock on and off as well, and manually fly the ship. You can manually fly the ship as you're locked onto a target. And this is a great feature for anyone who has problems with space combat or has issues with the controller in general. Maybe your reflexes aren't as good as some gamers, and that's fine, because, you know, not all of us can. And now the captain would like to speak to me. So follow the navigation signal. You'll see it appear on the compass and on the HUD. Ignore that, skip that, and we boost forwards, spin slowly around, and aim at the docking bay. Once on board, we head out the ship. Other ships will land on the freighter. This makes it a great place, actually. It's almost like a Colonial Viper from Battlestar Galactica. Showing my age there. Not the new one, the old one, with Lorne Greene, Commander Adama. You'll see the teleporter takes us to the bridge. We get to talk to the commander. I can inspect the freighter. It's not great, but it's a freighter. I don't have a previous freighter base, so now I have my own freighter, and it will tell you all about freighters and so on in the little tooltip. And it will also give you a guided tutorial. So follow this little guided tutorial to begin with, so we can have a look at what we've got. We've got our little ship here that's all part of our fleet. We can teleport to it. We can dismiss it. We can rename it. We can look at its stats. And now we can speak with the navigator. And now we need a fleet command room. So now we can build a base inside a freighter. Now the thing is with the old freighters, they had nothing on board. But when you get a freighter, you will get a random selection of things already placed on it. In this one, it's fairly simple. They've given me an aquarium and some extra bits and pieces. And one of the things I always like to do, and I don't think I actually have that functionality with this save yet. No, I don't. I like to build a save point on the ship, but that's fine. That can be unlocked later on. This is the freighter though. This was the purpose of this particular video. Getting on board our freighter. So if we open up our log, freighter command, construct a fleet command room. Expeditions require a fleet command room. Construct a command module in your freighter. Use the build menu in the habitable area between the bridge and the hangar. Now, let's just go simple into the build mode. We'll stand at the entrance here and we'll go into the build mode of the freighter. Push up on the D-pad and we enter build. If you press select part, you'll see the fleet command room. You'll see what we need to build it. Now, because I'm playing in this creative mode, I actually will have silver, gold and tritium in my inventory. But if I didn't have them, this is what you need to do. Go back past the navigator, hit the teleporter, come down, follow the icon on the hood and you'll see your currently commanded ship, and yes, you can own more than one. And then you need to launch, and what we're looking for is gold, silver and tritium. And what we can do is ignore all these people because we don't have a fleet command room, so it's a waste of time. Right, it's refreshing the asteroid field there. It's something that No Man's Sky does. It's a bit of a bug. We have reported it. What it's doing is it's refreshing it because it's loading in a bunch of other things, including, careful with that shot there. That's an NPC mining the asteroids. I showed you that in the look at No Man's Sky. You'll see we're picking up gold, silver, and we'll pick up tritium as well as we naturally mine these rocks. Again, check your fire. You don't really want to get in trouble with other ship captains unless you want to be a pirate, in which case go nuts. Enjoy yourself. Play it how you want. And when we've mined enough of this resource, we orientate back to the freighter, hit the thrust, and head back on board. Aim again in the general vicinity of the docking bay. And you can see we've got shields now. This is something that Echo's added. All freighters have shielding, and to try and damage them you have to fly below the shield and shoot the various components. You can sub-target. Again, I will probably have a nose at No Man's Sky Echoes in a video. But again, a lot of people tend to do that kind of thing, and I don't see why I should retread old ground. This is, after all, not the primary focus of what I use my channel for. However, you can see you can also get back to the bay this way. If you want to know where to go, it's actually quite easy. Captain, orange. Ship, interior, green. So now, the fleet command room is your next step with a freighter. So up on the D-pad, press A on the fleet command room, and then as you move around you'll see the fleet command room and all the controls at the top are explained to you. How to rotate it and so on. You can even colour it. So say you didn't want it to be this colour, say you wanted it to be this nice yellow and dark grey. We just select the colour, tap A, and our fleet command room will be there. And if we press the right trigger, we will build it. And there it is, the fleet command room. We can build others. Each one, I believe, commands 5 frigates. If I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've done that. And we can also now show off another great feature of No Man's Sky building by pressing B. You can come out of that, or you can do what I'm about to do, which is position my character here, just within the build. Go into building, press X for edit, and then press the left stick in, going into what I call spectator camera or ghost build mode. And then if you want to recolor your freighter parts to match your command room, pressing your color button, which is the 2 squares, choose yellow and dark grey, press B, and now just keep on pressing your button on all the parts that you want to colour to match your chosen colour scheme. Just make sure we've got this right. And the last bit, just at the back here, get it in here, flip round here, and just do the last bit over here as well. And then press B again, and we are go. Pressing left on the D-pad wants us to inspect the fleet command room, and so this will continue the tutorial, download the data, and we will now get blueprints for frigate fuel. This is important when you're playing in the normal or any other mode. Unlike me, you can make frigate fuel. So it wants us to talk to our friend here, the navigator. We'll look at the potential expedition, and this one is 3 hours 51 minutes, 2 hours 1 hour 49 minutes. So we'll go for a trade one. Click that, assign the ship, return. We don't need to craft frigate fuel, and off goes our little ship. It now wants us to make contact with the fleet commander, so we'll go to the fleet command room again. And speak with the commander. And now it lets me see what he's doing. Inspect the ships. And we just have to wait now until this mission completes. In the meantime, you can build more things on board your freighter. But how do you unlock all the cool stuff, I hear you ask? Good question. Here it is. The upgrade control panel. Not only can you customize your freighter's colour scheme and so on, and your engine glow, but you can research and upgrade various things. The craftable upgrade blueprints include new engines, new one-shot consumable frigate upgrades, and if you tap right or left on the bumper, you'll go to the freighter construction modules. Now you'll see that this requires a resource called salvage frigate modules. How do you deal with salvage frigate modules, I hear you ask? Well, that is another part of freighter ownership that is going to take you a while, because there are various ways to get salvaged frigate modules. You can get them from crashed freighters on planet surfaces when you open their cargo boxes that are buried underground. You'll need to dig them out with the terrain manipulator, which means you need to follow the story until you get one, and I believe you actually can't get this far without one now. Derelict freighters, which you could imagine are randomly generated space dungeons with their own story, those have a chance of giving you salvaged frigate modules, and you can also get them from missions sometimes on the Space Anomaly, which is another aspect of the game which would take a tutorial to talk about. The purpose of this particular one, though, is to show you your freighter and a few of the things you can do with it. So if we look at the freighter construction modules to begin with, there are quite a few. Your cultivation chambers, that's hydroponics, so you can grow plants, your refiners, and all that stuff that I talked about in my No Man's Sky 101 video, which I will leave a link to in the description. This one, though, is all about the freighter. So as you get salvaged frigate modules, you can choose which one of these you want to unlock first, what functionality you want on your ship. My advice would be, you can get a storage room already, so you can build those. However, what I would really go for is, where is it? Let me find it. A galactic trade room that'll allow you to buy and sell. And this thing, the scanner room. This actually lets you scan an entire system, planets, without having to land on each individual one. It saves a lot of time when you jump your freighter into a system. You can literally hit the scanner, get the data you want, pick the planet you want to go and visit, and you're away. It was added an update or so ago, and it's an absolutely brilliant thing. It was added in the update that modified freighters, because they didn't used to look like this. They were a lot more, shall I say, basic. This is some really great design, and freighters are a lot of fun now. They are a home away from home in the stars. So there you go. That is your quick look, and I said quick look, at freighter ownership, how to get one, what to do to get to this point in the process. And all you have to do is just keep following the story until you reach a point in it that I'm about to illustrate under the log. In the Awakenings story, find us, hear us. I have received a strange communication from an unknown source. A voice spoke to me, though it almost seemed as if they were speaking to someone else. They were cut off as strangely as they began, and I received a set of coordinates. Travel to the stranger's coordinates. Locate the coordinates sent to you by looking for the mission icon on your HUD. The compass at the top of your ship's cockpit will help you track the signal. That is the mission that you can break off, choose exploration guide just to take it out of your log, and go zooming from system to find your own freighter. Hopefully this has been a helpful little quick look at Freighter Command, and I will be doing more No Man's Sky videos and more Space Engineers. There is a new update coming, and of course on September the 1st, keep your eyes peeled for a game that is going to be extremely special. I've been lucky enough to fall in love with space games from a very early age, and I cannot wait for Starfield, because everything that I have seen and heard, and I'm not under an NDA, but I'm also not going to break any NDAs that anyone else has, because I wouldn't do that across Microsoft, Xbox and Pete Hines and all the others there who've worked absolutely solidly to bring out what I think is going to be a game of this Xbox generation, and it's going to be a treat for Xbox owners and PC owners, and an exclusive for the console. I'm not going to get into the exclusives debate, and I'm not going to get into it in the comments. If you want Starfield, then look up Foxy Gamer UK and see his video, because that man is a PlayStation aficionado. That man has seen Starfield thanks to a friend of his, and that man has bought himself an Xbox Series X with a copy of Starfield. Now, if that's his reaction, what's yours going to be as an Xbox gamer? I will see you out there in Space Engineers, in No Man's Sky, and into the Starfield. Bye for now.